Hey there, I'm Sean. Thanks for stopping by for part 2 of this series on pressure washers. If you missed part 1, be sure to go back and watch it. Also consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. That way you can catch part 3 of this series when it comes out. But today in this second part of the series, I got my pressure washer down here, a bucket. We're gonna show you how to properly set it up. Like the real way to set this thing up so that it lasts a long time and you can get set up quick. Let's get started. Firstly, make sure you got all your stuff. We got our pressure washer and look how nice and neatly it was put away the last time. That's important. Get your bucket, any attachments you might need, then we'll go down there and show you where to put it. I'm gonna set up the pressure washer at about the midpoint of the car. That could be at the back or the front. I've chosen the side because that's where it works best for my power and water source. From this angle, you can see I put it about 3 feet away from the car. It lets me maximize the distance of that hose while still keeping it kind of close. Then I'm gonna get my bucket and bring it over close to the water source. Next, we're gonna turn on the water and fill up our bucket. If you don't have a handy spray nozzle like this, you can always just crimp this hose until you're ready for that water to deploy. When you're done filling it up, you gotta turn off that water. And if you do have a hose with a spray nozzle, go ahead and remove it. And bleed out some of that pressure first so it doesn't go spraying everywhere. Because we won't need this until we're done. I'm gonna pull out enough hose just so that we can reach this pressure washer so we don't have a bunch of excess sitting around. When we're attaching the hose to the inlet, it's always good to have dry hands and make sure you haven't touched the soap yet because that will make it really hard to grip. This doesn't have to be super tight. You don't have to use tools or anything. Just get it hand tight. Then we'll roll out the pressure washer hose and make that connection. Here's a pro tip for installing this to make it last a long time. This O-ring right here will get a lot of wear and tear as it goes in and out, especially if you use it like I do, which is just about weekly. So we're gonna put some kind of lubricant on the O-ring. Now, we could go on for days debating what the best kind of lubricant is. Really, your saliva would work. But for me, I like to use a petroleum jelly. You could use Vaseline, olive oil, vegetable oil, and just apply it to this. What it'll do is it'll help keep it from cracking, but it'll also make it install a lot easier, and it'll make it easier to take it out as well. Now you don't want a ton on here. I'm just putting a tiny dab on. So now when you put it in, it is lubricated and it'll keep it from cracking. Dry O-rings rolling against dry metal will tend to make them twist and crack. So we're gonna tilt it up. That goes in super easy, and then we'll screw it on. Once again, you just gotta do this hand tight, no tools required. Now that we've made all of our hose connections, we're gonna attach our gun to the hose as well as any associated tips. I like to use this so that I can attach my foam cannon. Of course, if you don't have that, you might just have this wand that it came with. So first, let's attach the gun. Make sure it's in there nice and secure. It'll kind of stop, pop, and then you have a little green lever here. Usually they have some kind of a locking mechanism. Now both of these wands are a twist and push, but before we do that, they also have an O-ring on them. So just like the O-ring that we had on the hose over here, we're gonna give it a tiny bit of lubrication. And we'll run it around it, help it last a long time. So installing this guy into the gun, you're gonna line up these tabs here to go straight down in there. It'll drop in. Then you're gonna give it a push and turn it clockwise. Next, I've run out the electrical cord from this. Try not to use any extension cords. A lot of them come with a nice long 30, 50 foot cord like this one so you can reach most outlets. When you plug it into your outlet, you're gonna have to hit that reset button so that it can be ready to go. Now we'll turn on the water again and bring our bucket back over by the unit. And then we're gonna take this and spray it into this bucket so we can bleed all the air out of the system. You're gonna let this go for a little bit so that you can get all those air pockets out of there. It's just not great for the pump. You can see all the air coming out. It's not great for the pump to have a bunch of air in the system if you want your system to last a long time. And now that we have just free flowing water, we know that we are, all the air is bled out of the system. Now we can finally switch it on and do a spray test. So to break all this down, I would essentially just work it all in reverse. Now in our third part of this series, we're gonna look at how to maintain this system and just some pressure washer systems in general, things you can do to make it last as long as possible. So stick around for that, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time.